Hey guys, I've said it a million times. One of my favorite things about math is there's usually more than one way to do things. So we're going to add these fractions, two mixed numbers, two different ways, and hey, you can pick which one you like better. So this first way, I'm going to do pretty quickly. I have a video linked in the corner where I go through this process a bit more slowly if you find I'm going too fast, okay? But for this one, we are going to turn both of these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So to do that, I'm going to do 7 times 6 and then add 5, and we keep it over 7. So 7 times 6 is 42. Add 5, I get 47, and we are still over 7. Okay, so these two are the same fraction, just written two different ways. Then we are adding, again, I'm going to do 4 times 5, which would be 20. 20 plus 3 would be 23, and we are still over 4. All right, whenever we add or subtract fractions, our denominators must be the same. If you want to see what happens if we try to add them without making them the same, I'll link a video in the corner. But I think of the smallest number they both go into. In this case, that is 28, right? So I want two fractions being added together with denominators of 28, but they have to be equal to these, right? I can't just make up new fractions. So this guy, to turn 7 into 28, I would need to multiply by 4, but I can't just multiply by 4 on the bottom for fun. I got to multiply the top too. The reason I can do that is because 4 over 4 is just 1. So I'm really just multiplying by 1. It's just a weird looking 1, okay? 4 times 47 gives me 188. So these two fractions, if you were to divide them, you would get the same answer. They're the same fraction. And they're the same as this. Guys, you can make the same fraction look literally infinite different ways. All right, next we are going to figure out how to get 23/4 over 28. So what would I need to multiply 4 by? I need to multiply it by 7, but I got to multiply it by 7 over 7 to keep things true, right? 23 times 7 gives me 161, and then we've got that 28 on the bottom. Okay, now my denominator stays 28. That's why we need them to be the same, right? And then 188 plus 161 is 349. I did not just do that in my head. I did it on paper beforehand. Okay, so that is my answer as an improper fraction, but we usually like to turn it back into a mixed number. So to do that, I asked myself, how many times is 28 going to 349? Well, it goes in 12 times. Again, I did not just do that in my head. And we have 13 left over because it doesn't go in evenly. And then we are still over 28. Okay, so we figured out that 6 and 5/7 plus 5 3/4 equals 12 and 13/28. If that's not beautiful, I don't know what is. Okay, but let's find another way to do this because that way was a little, I don't know, a little something. Okay, so this one, I'm going to add my whole numbers first. I'm going to add 6 plus 5. Okay. And then I'm going to add 5/7 and 3/4. Okay. This might make it a little bit better. We'll see. So 6 plus 5 is 11. Okay. Now let's add these guys. We still need our denominators to be the same. And again, the smallest number that 7 and 4 both go into is still 28. So I'm looking for two fractions with denominators of 28 that are equal to these guys. So just like we did over here, to get 7 to be 28, I'm going to multiply it by 4, but I got to multiply it by 4 over 4. So 4 times 5 is 20, and the 4 times 7 gives me that 28. All right, next I am going to multiply this guy. To get 4 to be 28, I'm going to multiply it by 7, but I got to multiply by 7 over 7. So 3 times 7 gives me 21, and we're over that 28. All right, when I add these, my denominator is going to stay 28. And 20 plus 21 is 41. Okay, so I could write this as 11 and 41/28, but this is an improper fraction, and I don't really want it to be an improper fraction. So I ask myself, how many times is 28 going to 41? Well, it goes in once, and you guessed it, we have 13 left over, and we are still over 28. Okay, So when I added 6 plus 5, I got 11. When I added 5/7 and 3/4, I got 1 and 13/28. So when I add 11 and 1 and 13/28, I get 12 and 13/28. Oh my gosh. Which way do you think was easier? This way seemed a little faster. We had a lot smaller numbers. We didn't have to mess with that 349 stuff, right? But some people prefer this way, some this way. So, okay, I hope this made sense. If you need some more fraction videos, I've got lots. I'll link a playlist. Thanks.